Hello, everybody. We are waiting with bated breath here. Is it live?
I feel like we're live this time. It says 58 seconds up there.
Okay. All right.
Coming at you live, everybody.
Coming at you live 10 hours late from the
look, it showed up on my YouTube channel too. So we're good.
I need to figure out how to do that. So welcome to Going On Daily Live, regardless of what time we are live. We had a really good show planned for, 8 a.m. my time, 9 a.m. your time, and we didn't get to do it. So here we are, 6 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. your time, redoing the show.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you guys real quick about the dedication involved here. 15 minutes ago, I was on 281 in San Antonio, and I literally had been in the car for like 6 hours. So
wild.
I came straight out of Road Rage right into our episode here. It's Going On Daily. It's not called Morning Show this week, though. It's
Going On Daily Nightly show. This is the after hours.
This is the Patreon episode where you got to start sending money to get the content.
You can see I'm already half naked here in preparation for today's show.
I'm not even going to lie. I got on a hoodie, but, the desk is set at an angle for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just kidding.
Man. Well, today is going to be a good day, regardless of what time it is. It is Wildlife Week. Wildlife. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. So if you would follow along with the show, we have been doing themes. We had, what did we have first? Hometown. Then we had
hometowns, yes.
Then we had fall. Then we had cheese, because who doesn't love cheese, awesome. Right? And this week is Wildlife Week in preparation for next week, which is Spooky Week. So I'm excited.
Okay, cool. Now I got a week to plan. I always find out it's Wildlife Week 5 minutes before the air, and it's like.
I know. I noticed about your topics today that it was not Wildlife Week for you.
No, but I'm going to call an audible, and I'm going to make one of them into a wildlife story.
I can't wait.
I've already got it figured out in my head. So
cannot wait to hear it. Well, why don't you start us off here about bargain buggies for the win?
Okay. I forgot this was even a topic, but have you ever heard of bargain buggies, Becky?
No. Are buggies like shopping carts?
Yes. So you have heard of bargain buggies. Okay. Let me tell you a quick story about bargain buggies.
Okay.
And this is a completely rehashed topic from my podcast from 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I figure I've got an entirely new audience here. So
yeah, why not?
Might as well try this content out again and make it all seem original. Right. So about 3 years or so ago, I'm here in San Antonio. We're just hanging out. We get a call to go look at a roof, I think. Something, normal stuff.
Normal stuff, yeah.
And we're over in this area of town called Windcrest.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice community, but you have to be careful there. The police, I definitely think they have a required number that they have to write you and stuff. And
fair.
It's one of those, you're cool there as long as you don't do anything stupid. But I glance over to one of my sales guys who had just started with our company at this point, and he's a grown man, and he was excited. He had this look on his face of pure excitement, and I couldn't figure it out. He starts pointing. Oh, hey, check it out. Yeah, we got an audience tonight. Y'all didn't even know we were going to be here. Still tuned in. Just
organic. So I like it. I like organic.
So here's what's up with bargain buggies.
Yes.
We go driving through this neighborhood, and all of a sudden this guy's really pumped up, and I'm like, well, okay. He hasn't been super expressive to this point in his career. He's a few days in, new guy. and I see what he's looking at. I look off to the horizon and I see this store. It was like a mecca almost. And this store was called Dirt Cheap. I kid you not. The store was called Dirt Cheap. So you've got expectations going in, right? Like, it's probably going to be some high-end stuff. This is going to be, you know, who knows what I'm coming out with today, but I'm walking in with $10. I might be coming out with a new car, you know, dirt cheap.
Well, you need it after all your incidents.
Well, that thing ran like a champ today. So much props to that. So we go into this dirt cheap, right? And I've never seen anything like this. And I know there are stereotypes for, like, you know, the Target audience versus the Walmart audience. And there's no groups called Fights at Target or anything like that. So you know what I mean? Well, Dirt Cheap, the first thing that catches my eye is they've got these giant shopping carts. And they are just filled with, like, random stuff. Random as random could get, right? And they're called bargain buggies.
Fun.
So we start looking at this bargain buggy and we kind of deduce it real quick in our head. And it's like, they only want $10 for this, like, massive
entire buggy.
Yes. With everything. Caveat though, you can't really look because they strap it.
So it's a surprise basket. Yeah.
Or you take nothing and, you know, there's no in between, which leads to a better part of the story later. But we opt to buy this bargain buggy. There's 3 of us there and there's only 2 bargain buggies available. So we did the right thing and we bought both bargain buggies.
Yeah, naturally.
And it was like, you know, there's enough stuff here for 3 of us. We can split it and life will be fair. Yeah. But we can't let anybody else in here get these bargain buggies. And there was a lady that was kind of perturbed because I think she wanted the bargain buggy, but like, nope, not today. I was quick and I was on my game and so we got the bargain buggies. We take them out into the parking lot and I made a live video of this whole thing. It was like a 30-minute live broadcast and we're opening up the bargain buggies and, like, some of the things that we're finding in these bargain buggies is incredible. I found in one bargain buggy, like 17 different thermostats for your home.
What?
17 different models. Like, if you need a thermostat, I got you. Oh. Not just thermostats on your home, though. They also have thermostats for your car.
Not 2.
There was a bunch. Yeah, there was a ton of them, right? This in itself is already worth way more than $10. I've done the math and I'm like, oh God, like we're coming out way ahead. I'm already envisioning what I'm going to do with all this stuff and, like, how it's going to benefit me, how I'm going to make a ton of money off of it. It's going to be great. I'm getting, like, dehumidifiers, jumper cables that, like, are missing a post on them. So they're really not good, but they were in there. So they're mine. I can't take them back. All kinds of crazy things. Those little chocolate eggs that you drop into the hot water and it turns into a hot chocolate bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's like 2 of those wrapped up in the bargain buggy.
Needless
to say, I did not try those. But I'm sure they were good.
They probably were. I mean, chocolate doesn't go bad. Probably
doesn't go bad, especially in a wholesome environment such as a bargain buggy at a place called Dirt Cheap.
In an industrial buggy full of garbage.
It was, this thing had seen its better days. This wasn't winning the shopping cart Olympics. So we start going through, getting all this stuff. Everything's together. I'm so excited. But then I look over at our friend and I'm kind of sad because the new guy who had the idea for the bargain buggies, he didn't get one. And now I feel kind of mad because it's like maybe I shouldn't have taken one, or maybe the other guy that was with us shouldn't have. Maybe. But we both were, like, looking out for ourselves in this deal. And I saw a great investment. So we got it. We got wood flooring. We've got all kinds of craziness in the back. We've got cat toys. We've got those little trimmers for the nails.
Crazy.
Like, you name it, right? But the one item that really stood out to me the most was a half open bar of Dial soap.
Stop it.
Half open?
No.
Becky, do you know where that half open bar of Dial soap ended up?
Hopefully not in your private parts.
No, definitely not. Probably the furthest thing from that is humanly possible. But we did give this thing its life. We gave it a life. It was in a bargain buggy. Like, for sure, anybody other than me would have thrown this bar of soap in the trash immediately.
Yeah, it's gross. Yeah.
But not I. What I did have a friend named Troy Anderson. He's known as the Roof Man in the roofing world. And
Mm-hmm.
he's a very interesting guy. He's done a live podcast with me from Spain. He's done a live podcast one time where it started raining real hard and like his guy was freaking out on the phone. And like, we've made some great content. So I actually autographed this bar of soap to Troy. Keep reaching for the stars. And I sent him an autographed bar of soap, which just the other day, Troy sent me a picture. It's still up on the shelf at his office in Nashville, Tennessee. So bargain buggies for the win. The moral of the story with bargain buggies is it always looks good until you actually possess it. And once you have all the goods that are inside the bargain buggy, you're in big trouble. And to finish the story, there was another guy on the other side of the parking lot that had also purchased a bargain buggy prior to us getting there, but he only wanted like half of the stuff. So he brought us the rest of his bargain buggy. So we got 2.5 for the price of 2. I felt like once we appraised the values of everything, it was worth at least like $33, $34. So we invested 20. We came out well ahead, but this is where lack of action really hurts. I ended up leaving it in the back of my car for like a month. And then one day I just got so disgusted by it that I just pulled over to the dumpster in my office and just threw everything in the trash. Never recouped anything from the bargain buggy. But I'm telling you this, if you ever in Canada walking around and you see a store called Dirt Cheap,
go in. Okay.
Take your $10, Becky. Go in, get you a bargain buggy. Because I'm telling you guys, I don't even know why this was a topic of discussion other than it was on my Facebook memories, and I just wanted to share the story. So bargain buggies for the win. Going on daily evening is a little bit different than the morning show.
Right. I'm just thinking this is like social commentary for American capitalism or consumerism. It did not matter what was in there. It could have been garbage. It was garbage. There was a half bar of soap or half open.
And that was the only thing that actually survived the entire.
That's the thing of value. That's the crazy.
It's in a loved home. It's going to be loved forever.
Right. But like those half jumper cables. But the fact is, like, you then took those things that you were like, I'm going to buy this regardless of what it is. And then you threw it out. If that's not consumerism.
Every single piece except for the soap. I literally have none of it to speak of. And we left 2.5 bargain buggies in the back of my car. And again, if you drive a Dodge Durango, you can fit 2.5 bargain buggies in the back and be a superfied hoarder, as I was for like a month and a half. But when it comes time to throw that stuff out, it's not so much a win anymore for the bargain buggy.
A liquidation center, they were trying to get rid of their garbage, and they're like, you know what? If we put a dollar amount on this and call it a deal,
here we come, and we're fighting. We're pushing these old people out of the way to get to the bargain buggies. Like I was taunting her, pointing and laughing, like, you think this one's yours? No, come get it from me. And
you'll have to buy your own cat nail trimmers. Yeah, that's right.
I should have sold it to her for $15 and walked away.
Oh my gosh. Instead, now you're down 20. So
yeah. And I drove around with all that crap in my car and I had to fill the dumpster.
Well, great story. I'm glad that
there you go.
You were reminded of this today because I quite enjoyed that story.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. I was in a car for 6 hours today, so I'm a little bit punchy, and I do have something else I want to talk about. Don't let me forget the third topic. If we get an opportunity, I feel like I'm getting a massive shakedown from somebody in my complex right now, and I need advice from the audience.
Ooh, I like that. A Help Chuck segment. Love it.
Yeah.
So for those of you watching, we actually have a few of you on X right now. 8 on X/Twitter, which is awesome. 2 on other platforms. So this is great. Continue to watch us on X over there at Broadcasting RI, or you can watch us on Twitch at RI_broadcasting, where you can actually donate bits to the show. If you were into gaming, you know what that is. For people like me, I don't know, but do it. Do it anyway.
Bits are like pennies.
Yeah, I think they're worth pennies. And one on Twitch too. All right. Hello to our Twitch friend. We're also on Kick, YouTube, and Rumble at Rhode Island Broadcasting. We are on 57 million social medias. So if you have any of the following, I forgot about this one. You can listen to us as well, audio on Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio at RIBroadcasting. Back to our social medias. We have all of them. MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Parler, Space Hey, Gab, all of them at RI Broadcasting, and of course Twitter at Broadcasting RI. We also have a Patreon account at Rhode Island or RI Broadcasting, or you can just type in Rhode Island Broadcasting, you'll find us. But there you can get yourself some merch, you can support the show, you can help keep this fun little program in business. So definitely head over to any of these, really. Now, if you're saying to yourself, I don't have MeWe or Space Hey or Gab or Parler, well, then why don't you just go check us out on Facebook at Going On Daily Morning Show right here under me. Give us a like. We want to be able to go live again on the Going On Daily Morning Show. So make sure you like over there so that we can do that. Over here under Mr. Chuck, we have our new website at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. It's only been up for about 2 months, and we've played 2 games. Well, we're into our 3rd month of games here. So, Lena's here. Hello, Lena. So for our first month, we were talking, what was it? Movies? No, we were talking 60s bands. And the Beatles took that one, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Obviously. And then in September, we were talking 70s movies. So somehow Grease took that. I'm still mad about that because, like, not that Grease is a bad movie, but like you had Jaws and Rocky and The Godfather on there, so like
something doesn't add up.
The math ain't math in here.
Conspiracy theorist, but I feel like a couple fans got together on the outside and they're like, "Hey,
I think let's
mess this up, guys."
I think it's because Olivia Newton-John watches our show and she just like kept voting.
That's probably exactly what happened.
She's still alive, to be honest, but maybe beyond the grave, she was voting for herself. And like, you can't even say it was John Travolta because there was no votes for Saturday Night Fever. So I don't know.
I know, but if you were John Travolta and you were trying to rig the deal, would you throw a curveball like that and say, "Well, I didn't Saturday Night Fever, what? Nothing." I don't know.
Yeah, I think Grease really made him, though. You know, I don't know.
I heard a story about John Travolta today on the radio, but I will abstain from telling that story.
Okay. Well, now I'm curious. But anyway, this month in our Hall of Fame, you can vote for your favorite 80s show. So again, we're going 60s, 70s, 80s. I'm hoping next month is 90s. We got Cheers, Happy Days, Golden Girls, MASH, and Married with Children. This is going to be a tight one. I don't think MASH is in the lead. I don't think Happy Days, but I think it's going to be between Cheers, Golden Girls, and Married with Children. That's my thoughts. Golden Girls is currently in the lead because why wouldn't it be? It's the best show ever on TV. But Cheers was good too. Married with Children, apparently. All of these were good shows. So go ahead, RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net, and cast your vote. And you've only got, what day is it today? The 20th?
Today's the 20th. You've got 10 or 11 days.
So I'm very curious to see what's up here. Okay. Whew. It's always such a mouthful to get all this socials out.
And do you want to know something, Becky? Today on my road trip, I was like, follow us on MeWe, Parler, U42. And like, I don't even know like 3 or 4 of them. Every single week I listen to you do that. And I can't even name like 3 of those things still. I know that there's 10 people watching us on X.
Ooh, yeah. X is a good one. MeWe, Gab, Parler, Space Hey,
I want to start looking up these platforms and seeing what kind of other people are on them. Because, like, what if Space Hey is like amazing and we just don't know?
Space Hey.
What if we're the biggest show on Space Hey?
Like, I'll be honest, I feel like it's mostly Chinese, but I actually have no idea.
Hey, my podcast is like super popular in like strange locations. I'll just leave it at that.
I've never actually looked up the analytics. I should do that on mine.
Oh, yeah. I have almost more fans abroad than I do in the States. Makes me feel good. Thanks to all my friends for your support.
When I had a conspiracy podcast, it was always Germany. Germans love conspiracies, I guess. So, yeah, it was a lot on that. We are huge in Sao Paulo. Really? Interesting. Brazil. Okay. That's cool. So, okay, exactly. Canadians and Americans, we also want your support. But we love Brazilians. So, hi, everybody.
Yeah, Brazilians are awesome.
I've never been, but I'd like to. They're beautiful. They're the most beautiful human beings alive. So Okay. This is a crazy story, and I'm gonna try to go off of memory, but I may have to read a little bit too. So a couple years ago, there was this guy. His name was Roland Torres. And apparently the story is that he worked at Subway. No, it's fine. A job's a job. That's great. You're paying your bills. That's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I would love to take home a Subway sub every day. Maybe not if I worked there, but this guy worked there. And nearby in Las Vegas, where he lived, was a hospital called Sunrise Hospital. I actually think it was next door. Like, it was very close. And so he probably always saw doctors and nurses and patients and everybody all the time. And so
everybody
this guy
loves
was
Subway.
like, oh, who doesn't? Not, well, Jared. But I gotta get those platforms right myself. Becky does it so well. It haunts me at nighttime. I just think about it the way that Chuck does in his car. Anyway, so this guy was like, look, I'm tired of making minimum wage at Subway. I need to do something to make some cash. So
the plot thickens.
The plot thickens. He's a man with a plan, okay? He registered a company. I believe it was called Surgical Innovations, if I'm remembering correctly.
I feel like some innovations are about to be
there was
displayed.
Okay. Not just a sandwich artist, but also man with a plan. He then sent an invoice to the hospital with just fake information. Now, the first story I read about it didn't say anything about the details of it. More stories that I read said that he actually looked into patients that had been there. I don't know if that's public domain. I have no idea how he found the information, but he found the information and he would literally invoice the hospital. This guy is brilliant. Invoice the hospital randomly with a patient's name, and they paid it. The first one was for $12,000. He didn't even like go small. He didn't go with $12 or $120. He could have.
If you're gonna go, you might as well go big right out of the gate, and then it's like, hey, you know, like, I didn't know I couldn't do that, Your Honor. My first time.
Oh, yeah, right. Are you a surgical supply company? Oh, you're not? Okay, well, that's the first thing wrong. Anyway, he continued to do this over a 2-year period or 21 months. No, sorry, that's his prison sentence. My bad. He ended up defrauding the hospital out of $712,000 until someone finally was like, wait a second, who is Surgical Innovations? We should do an audit on this. We just paid them almost $1 million.
Would it be worth 21 months in jail?
100%.
I almost feel at that point like it might.
So, like, I don't know the legal system, especially not the American legal system. Does he have to pay that money back?
Or is that his money? I would just be like, I'm not a judge. Mm-hmm. Most cases, I'm on the opposite side of the judge, and I'm getting judged.
Fine,
but I would probably be like, you know what? I mean, you asked them for the money. They gave it to you. I don't really see the crime in this. Mm-hmm. It was a simple request. At any point, they could have said no.
Literally. I mean, it goes both ways. They could have vet their information better. They could have trained their accounts payables in a way that they had to match it to actual POs. So, like, there had to have been something we're missing in this story. Like, there's no way they just blindly paid $750,000 to
there's a whole bunch of these employees right here that do not care. And they're just like, whatever, it's Friday.
They're like, we live in Las Vegas.
Surgical supplies.
We can afford it.
We pay this idiot every week. We don't even know who he is.
Literally. This is American healthcare. We make $700,000 every 10 seconds here.
Exactly.
I
honestly, I respect the guy. I mean, that is a pretty stellar way to upgrade your lifestyle immediately. And
he had 2 good years, right? Like, he was living the high life. I mean, he went from sandwich artist
for 21 months in jail. I mean, I don't know what kind of jail it is. Now, obviously, that's a variable that I'd have to
imagine a white collar.
I have to do a little more research before I opted to do that. But
it feels like minimum security, wouldn't it? For business crime?
I mean, I wouldn't do that.
I think so. So I'll just read here quickly. It says that he ran this operation for 2 years, right? It was literally for non-existent goods. That's like the funniest thing. He was like pretending like he sold all this equipment for specific people And they were just like, okay, sign off on it. And then the thing is too, like, you don't just get to pay. Like, anybody who's ever worked in accounting, you do the payables and then someone signs off on the payables. And in a third case, usually an owner or a top manager signs off on it. So it sees several hands before going out. At some point, they should have vet this information. So that's why I think, like, yeah, like Roland, you were dishonest, but I mean, like, nobody caught him or even looked into it.
As this is like, okay, another thing I just listened to on the radio a little bit ago on my way here. They had this guy that was like the number one, like, I don't even know how he did it, but he like got everybody's homes like titled into his name. And now he works for like this security whatever company that you know, don't get your identity stolen. And this guy's name is Matt something, and he's like the biggest criminal in history.
I've seen like, I don't know, Criminal Minds episodes about this, or like Chicago PD or something, where people will like convince these seniors, for example, to title whatever the deed to their child, and they'll get it to them so that they can sign or whatever, and then they just do it to themselves, and then it's
crazy. But again, I mean,
I mean,
all this guy did was, I mean, he asked for the money and they gave it to him.
Like, to me,
they could have said no, literally at any point.
At any point. If you screw over a senior, like, that's pretty horrible. And don't get me wrong, I don't think stealing is ever right. But I mean, at least it's sort of like a faceless corporation and not a sweet old lady who lives off of food stamps. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a respectable way to go about improving your life.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just mad that I didn't think of it first.
I know, right? Now they're going to be on like aware of it. So yeah, 21 months in jail he pled guilty to a single count of mail fraud. That's it, mail fraud. In November 3rd of 2023. So this was like very recent. This isn't
just a single count of mail fraud.
I know.
He must have got to keep all the money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to look through it quickly to see if there was more, more charges or anything, but I don't know. It says the announcement reflects a shared government resolve to clamp down on fraudulent activities that siphon resources from healthcare providers. Blah, 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 blah. But like, yeah, really nothing. So I guess
skated with a misdemeanor. He spent 21 months in jail. Probably got to work out a couple times a day. Got,
Roland's looking tight.
Came out all swole. His 800 grand and was like, let me tell you guys a story.
Well, now I want to see what Roland looks like. I want to see if he's all swole or what. But anyways, pretty cool story. It made me laugh when I heard it, especially when they're like, and how many months or how long do you think they did in jail? And they're like, I don't know, a few years. He's like 21 months. So awesome. One says, can we sue the healthcare providers for overcharging us for Tylenol? Yeah, if it gave you autism, probably.
Well, Tylenol is what's the going rate now in a hospital? It's like $87 a piece.
I don't know. I live in Canada. It's all free.
I know.
So I really have no idea.
I know. I was opening the door for that, and it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's
you make a good point.
Garbage. It's garbage healthcare here. I mean, when you get it, it's fine, but like you're in that hospital room for 10 seconds after you've waited 8 hours in the waiting room.
They're like, shake it off, champ. Growing pain.
Yeah, exactly. I like thought I broke my back. I had a walker, and they're just like, go sit in these uncomfortable chairs for 6 hours. We'll get to you. I'm like, oh, please.
There you go. We've got something in common.
Yeah, exactly.
We both probably need better health care in our homelands.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing that's kind of funny is that there is a what did I say his name was? Roland Torres? Roland? Oh yeah,
Roland Torres.
There's a Dr. Roland Torres.
Of course there is. It's him.
But he's in Florida.
He started off as a sandwich doc, and now all of a sudden he's like, you know what? No, he stole a prescription pad out of one of those doctors when they were eating their tuna sandwich. All of a sudden he became the doc.
Doctor. Remember that movie, Catch Me If You Can, with Leonardo DiCaprio? He's playing Frank Abagnale, who was just a teenager who became a pilot, a doctor. Was he a businessman too? I'm trying to remember. He had like all these careers, and all he just kept doing was faking the documents because it was like the 50s or 60s. So like, who can vet that information? And he was like treating patients, and he was like flying commercial jets, and he was like a teenager.
I feel like
Great
why
movie.
not, right? If you can get away with it. Speaking of commercial jets, check this out. Here's another thing that'll make you kind of think twice.
Yes.
I was playing golf the other day with a commercial airline pilot.
Ooh.
And we were talking a little bit during the game, and I'm like, airline pilot, I'd be disqualified because I'm blind.
Naturally.
And I'm like, ha, 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 that's my funny little insight. Ha, 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 I'm blind. This dude's like, bro, I am blind. He's like, the only way I continually get my renewal on my pilot's license is because I memorized the eye chart. And I'm like, whoa, there's a problem here. Like, then I start thinking about it, and it's like, that every eye chart is the same.
It's like AEK, blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
RSTLNE, whatever, like the thing is down at the bottom of the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. And they're all the same. And he's like, all I had to do is memorize that. He's like, bro, I can't see. Okay, and so I'm like, well, now, what flight are you going to be taking me on?
Literally, we need to know to not fly with him.
Well, it taught me that flying commercial planes is not that difficult. This man was like, hey, it basically flies itself.
Listen, so easy, like, a woman could do it.
I probably. I would venture to
guess. If her handler let her out of the house, then yeah, probably.
There you go.
That's so
It would be awesome.
Well, that's terrifying for someone who likes to fly. Like, that sucks, but
I've always just basically, when I get on the plane, I've come to grips with the fact, like, if something stupid happens on the plane, I have no control over it. It was just meant to be that way. And I've always been very peaceful. I have a friend that actually passed away in a plane crash, and I would think that would change my entire way of looking at it, but it really never did. I just put it in, the big man's hands, and I'm like, hey, bro, if I'm not supposed to make it to Columbus, Ohio this afternoon on my flight, then you know what's best.
The way I feel about it, I'm like, I'm not going down in this turbulence. I have greatness ahead of me. Okay. I'm going to make an impact in the world. And now is not my time. Okay. I'm not Aaliyah. No one's going to remember. I'm not John Denver. No one's going to remember me going down in this plane. So now is not my time. That's how I talk myself through horrible turbulence.
There you go.
Yeah.
People need to know me first.
People need to know me. Let me make a difference before the planes go down. Okay.
Yeah. And then the odds of that happening are slim, obviously.
They are.
My driving shenanigans have been on display the last few weeks. Much easier to get into a car wreck when you're in complete control,
as you know,
than it is to wreck a plane when you're sitting in the 30th row.
This is so true. I have to tell you a story. So I flew home a couple of weeks ago from Ontario, and we just took a small plane, like 2 seats on each side. So little tiny.
Those are the best ones. I love those.
Yeah, it's cheap. They give you free alcohol, free Wi-Fi. Is awesome. Only one bathroom at the back or one at the front, but we were way at the back. So I get up and I go, not even paying attention to where the drink cart girls are. And so I go to the back. There's a guy flight attendant, this hot dude. And he was just texting away. And he's like, yeah, there's someone in there. And I was like, okay, I'll wait. And then I waited, and then I kept waiting. And then I was like, they've been in there a long time.
This is turning into a Home Depot.
Yeah. And he's like this. Yeah, they've been in there a long time. And I'm like, okay. So I kept waiting. But now I look, and the cart girls are right in front of where I'm sitting. But they don't just hand you your drink and go. You think 2 and 2 would be fast. Oh, no. They park it, and then they do the 10 rows.
Oh, yeah.
And then they go.
Makes perfect sense.
So I'm standing here. I'm like, I'm going to have to use this bathroom, but I know this person's been in there because I waited at least 5 minutes. At least. And
that's historically, that doesn't bode well for the next person.
Well for that person. Listen, I want to be in that airplane bathroom for 30 seconds or less. Okay. I want to go in and out. I want to do nothing. I do not do my business in public. I do not care. I will suffer until my destination. Thank you. And so finally the door opens, and it's this, it's my roommate. No, it was a female, this quite a heavy set female. Oh. Not that adds to the story, but I'm just just thinking, what was your lunch? It wasn't a salad. It probably wasn't a salad.
Yeah, Roland wasn't making me a 6-inch.
So, right, like a 65-inch probably. So I was like, ugh. And then so I'm turned this way debating like, what the heck do I do? Like I can't. Luckily there was an
You
empty
just got to
row.
go through it at that point. It's
No,
like, God help me,
you know what I
because
did? Chuck, you know
turned
what I
around
did?
and sat back down.
I just sat in a random seat. And
Oh,
then the flight attendant goes, miss, it's open. And I look at him and I was like, mm-mm, mm-mm. And he starts laughing. And I was like, no, that was way too long. He's like, that's a good choice. And I just sat down. And then by then the cart girls had seen that I was awkwardly standing there. So they moved back and then I got to go sit. So
and
needless
you
to
didn't even
say,
miss your drink, right? I mean, you were
yeah,
there still to
yeah,
get your
totally.
complimentary
I told my
water or
kid to get me my
Sprite or
drink.
whatever.
Yeah, my ginger ale. I was bursting by the end, but I couldn't.
You
I
know
don't like
what?
that. Girls' bathrooms are
I
the worst for
respect
this.
that more than I can even put into words. I respect it, Becky, and here's
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
I work in the construction trades. I
You're
see
no
some
stranger
really
to it.
horrible things,
Yes,
and
I
I
heard.
totally understand exactly. Something crazy to know about me. I've been on probably 400 or 500 different flights. You know
Mhm.
how many times I've used the airplane restroom?
3.
0.
Oh,
I have
wow.
never even considered it. I won't even
Wow.
get up and try because
Yeah,
I
yuck.
just have this thing. Like, that's not my move. I don't want that.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
see the other
Yeah.
people on the plane. I often wonder if we've got a 1-hour flight, how is
Mhm.
it that 7 different people on the plane didn't think to go to the bathroom before we got into the
This is
air?
it.
Why do all
Literally.
7 of you have to go by and do this on a 45-minute flight?
Literally. And I'm thinking too, like this plane has what, 150 people on it, and there's one bathroom at the back. Yuck. Yuck.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty gross, not gonna
I
lie.
usually hold it. I was literally bursting though. So I was like, I'm not gonna hold it. I'm just gonna do it. And I don't like to stand up. I get real motion sick on planes. So I don't like to stand up because then it's like I'm on a night home from the bar. Okay. I'm like spinny. So I don't like that. So I just stay put. And if someone's beside me on the inside and they need to get up and I have to stand up and feel that because they need to pee,
To
then
hell with that.
I am mad. If it's my kids, I'm okay, climb over me. But somebody else, I was on a flight.
Oh, yeah, random strangers, hell no.
Where the heck? Oh yeah, we were going to Vegas in March, and for whatever reason, my husband booked us on the ends, 2 aisle seats beside each other, and I was beside the loudest French, maybe Russian. I don't know. I can't remember.
French,
I had my headphones
promise.
on. French for sure. Um, they were loud. I could hear them through my headphones with the show on, through the loud noise of the airplane. I could hear their conversation. And I kid you not, this guy got up to pee like 8 times, and his wife got up twice. And I was like, every time I looked over, I'm like, I will kill you, Andrew, like for booking me in this seat.
Like, how
Not that
does
it was
that
his
even
fault, but
how does that even happen? Like, how are
dude,
people so completely opposite to where one guy is willing to go use
yeah,
the bathroom 8 times in one flight, one guy
oblivious. That's the
refuses to
thing.
even use it? Like, if I ever have to fly anywhere, like, far away, probably
Yeah.
gonna die.
Literally, I'm considering going to Africa this spring, and it's like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna need to get a catheter put in or
Just gonna
something.
have to drive, I guess.
I'm gonna drive across the ocean. Well, that's just
Yeah,
it. Then I
I
have to
mean,
use a
it's
dirty boat bathroom. So I don't know.
well, it could always be worse. I bet that plane bathrooms are probably nicer than Home Depot bathrooms.
I
I
can honestly say
guarantee
never
that. I don't know
did.
if you've ever been to a Home Depot
Never,
bathroom.
never.
I've never met an actual lady that's been to the ladies' room there, so I can't
It's
speak on
probably
that.
immaculate, I'm guessing.
But yeah, it probably is. But the
We don't go
men's
there.
over at the Home Depot, it's like a truck stop. And this
Ew.
is this is why I don't really like going there.
Yeah.
But I understand. I will not use a public restroom like that ever.
I did use a public restroom today. I worked back to back to back today. I was there all day. I'm tired. I haven't peed. I drank this huge jug of water. And so I stopped to get us dinner tonight. And I was like, I'm bursting. So I went in this bathroom. The seat was up. So someone obviously thought, oh, hey, I'm a man. I should put up the seat. The seat
Very
underneath was
respectful.
so full of stains and everything. And I was like, gagging because
were they dry stains or were they liquid?
They were dried up, so they've been there some time, and it stunk. This bathroom stunk.
Oh, of course,
like
it's got to
sewer
stink.
gas.
Yeah.
And so I'm like trying to get this seat down without like touching anything and like gagging. And then like the toilet itself is like so dirty. And I'm thinking, like, this is a restaurant. Does nobody work here? And then I'm thinking about him making my donair with his hands. And I was like, oh my God, I can't eat here. And I still ate my food, but it's in my mind.
To accept it and just be like, okay.
Like, you know what?
There's a little bit of risk involved.
Anybody, right? What's a little parasite? Some germs. It's fine.
Exactly.
We'll see how I feel tomorrow. If I have E. coli, then I will let you know. But
yeah, and then we know exactly where to trace it back to.
Yeah.
And we've got evidence right here that could be played before a judge. And Your Honor, if you're watching this now, tune in every Monday to Going On Daily, because we bring these kind of amazing stories as just a regular occurrence.
It's their thing, yeah. And next week we get to talk about spooky stuff. I should have saved this toilet story for next week because that was spooky.
Well,
but anyway, I still ate my food naturally, because why wouldn't I? He did have gloves on. Did he wear the gloves to the bathroom? I don't know. I thought I should wear gloves in his bathroom. Yes, Ron. I also hate public restrooms. Yuck. My husband has no problem going to every public bathroom ever.
No, see, this is my thing. I can tell you, I can rank like the top 5 best gas station bathrooms, the worst. Lowe's is always better than Home Depot. Love's truck stop is better than
what's your big truck stop? I'm trying to remember.
Buggies. But here's why we love Buggies. No trucks. Trucks are banned from Buggies. They're not allowed there.
There's no big
This is why they've got the cleanest bathrooms on earth.
Okay.
And check this out. I went to Bucky's today, as a matter of fact. And you want to know what I noticed when I walked in? Every single one of the conventional bathrooms, not the urinals.
Yeah.
Every single one of them had the red light on. They were literally, every single one was occupied. And it was like, you know what? There's something beautiful about that, because there's like 100 of them. And that is the exact opposite of what you had to deal with. So shout out to Bucky's again.
Bucky's.
Send us a gift card, Bucky's.
And go to the bathroom.
It's a joy going to the bathroom at Bucky's, but
it sounds like
some of these others, and I know going in.
Today. Not my donair place. Oh boy, Bucky's, sponsor us, Buck. Sponsor
No kidding.
Us,
Please sponsor us. You've got money.
Yeah. Bucky's, we'll rave about your bathrooms all day long. Otherwise, we're gonna have to start invoicing you from
Exactly. I even showed this stupid painting on the air one time that I have.
Oh,
and
right.
It's literally still sitting in the same spot that it was when we did that episode. Like,
it's probably in your trunk rotting like the rest of your garbage.
Well, I found some barbecue in there this morning from
in your truck.
Yeah, from September.
Like barbecue food?
Yeah.
From September?
Yeah. I went to an event in Dallas and we went out to a barbecue place and I forgot.
Oh, how did you not smell it?
This barbecue is so good. Like, the real question is, how did you not eat it after you found it today, after sitting there for 6 weeks?
Did you eat it today?
I damn near did. I damn near ate it. Yeah. It was a Texas Twinkie, which is like a jalapeno that's like hollowed out. They shove brisket in there and like wrap it in bacon.
My goodness.
And those things are like, they're also called armadillo eggs, depending on where you're at.
Sounds fantastic. I went to a pig roast once in the summer. It was hot. I had this car. I had a bag of pig in my trunk that I forgot about for not even long, like a weekend.
That's all it takes.
My car stunk like a dead body for like a month. It was awful. So I can only imagine what your car smelled like, but why did you not know that it smelled? That's what I don't know.
It actually was very aromatic. It was enjoyable. Like, when I found it, I was like, oh my gosh. Truth of the matter is, didn't even throw it away. It's under the driver's seat.
Stop, get rid of it. Yeah.
Smells good.
At least animals can
Texas brisket. Risk it for the brisket. That's what they say. And that thing was at least a month, maybe 6 weeks old. I was willing to risk it for the brisket.
Yucky. If anyone's gonna have food poisoning tomorrow, it's you from that. And
I'm a roofer for 27 years, Becky. I have eaten some of the most vile, disgusting things. that have ever been placed on this earth. I've eaten gas station hot dogs from the dirtiest of them all.
I love a gas station hot dog. Oh, a taquito from 7-Eleven. I would even eat that white chocolate pumpkin cheesecake from 7-Eleven.
Ugh.
I would
They
mess
still
it
have
up.
that crap too.
I
Nobody's
want it.
buying it.
I should go check out my 7-Eleven and see. That would be awesome.
Yeah, nobody's buying it over here in San
Nobody.
Antonio.
It's the same one from 4 weeks ago, probably.
It literally is. It's like the other gas station that sells sushi. I told the guy, tell me when someone buys the sushi so that I can kind of track it, because I might buy some, but I'm not buying it until I know that it's been cycled through at least once.
I bought gas station sushi, and I am landlocked. There is no water anywhere near me. At least you're near-ish to an ocean.
Yeah, but I don't feel like this sushi came from the ocean.
No.
I feel like it came from a pond somewhere. And even the gas station attendant was like, dude, that's a bit much even for you.
Yeah, right?
I was like, all right, at least I've got that reputation, even for you.
Right. You're like,
gas
oh,
station
jackfish
sushi that's a month old is a bit much for you.
Yeah, right. Yes. With your jackfish sashimi and your trout sushi rolls.
I'm going to trade him a Texas Twinkie tomorrow for a sushi roll.
What's a Texas Twinkie?
It's the giant jalapeno that's wrapped in bacon with the stuff in it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So now I'm hungry. I half ate my donair thing, and now I put it in my fridge, and I was like, nah, I'm full. But now all this talk about it, oh my gosh.
Exactly.
I go for a real Twinkie. You know what? Sweets. That's what I want. I need sweets.
I had some candy today. I'm not going to lie. Quite a bit.
I love candy. Yeah, road trips are for candy. I get bumps on my tongue the second I leave anywhere.
I feel terrible right now about it, but I'll get over it. I'm actually starting to. I've been grieving throughout the entire episode, and I feel like I'm on the back end of it now, so it's all good.
Are you in pain? Do you need to use the washroom?
I'm not in pain at all. I'm actually complete bliss. My leg was hurting when I got out of the car, but I'm completely extended here. I got this whole setup going on for the podcast. I've got like a what's it called? An ottoman underneath here. My legs are propped up. I got a pillow on it, so it's nice and comfortable.
I should do that because my legs are on this like box that I keep my podcasting equipment, and I'm on this like super flimsy table. So I should definitely, and I'm on a tattoo chair, which is not comfortable and has zero support. So
I'm on a freaking lazy boy. I love this thing. When I started my podcast, I bought this chair just for this type of event.
I should do that. So
I did a podcast this morning at 6 a.m. too. So
you did?
I've been broadcasting all day.
All day. Well, then
which is fun. I like the morning ones. I like when it's dark. I don't even have my ring light on tonight, so I apologize if you can't see my face, folks. But
no, you can see it perfectly. But if I was to turn off my ring light,
oh wow,
that's what happens. So hold on, we gotta turn it down because it's like I'm on the surface of the sun here. Like look at that. Duh. Anyways, hi Danny, how are you doing? Nice of you to join us at 7 p.m. Or I guess
it's Danny's Dallas Cowboys.
You're almost 6 p.m. your time. Okay, we have gone so off topic here. Why don't you tell us about drones and why they're so cool?
Oh yeah, you think we've gone off topic? Wait till you hear this. Okay,
I can't wait.
So this morning I had this whole I was so ready for our episode because as soon as we were finished, I was getting in my car and I was going to do a 6-hour road trip, which now I'm on the other side of that, which is so much cooler because now I can tell this other story about the drone because the one I was going to tell didn't quite turn out to be that cool. And I've got a backup. So looking at these drones, right? And I'm in roofing. I've mentioned this a time or two in my on the program. And in roofing, these drones are they're worth their weight in gold because I don't like climbing on 3-story roofs. I don't like climbing on steep pitched roofs. I'm too old for that. Like if you fall off of a 3-story roof doing a free roof inspection, that's how you left this earth free. Like you didn't have a number on you. So I don't play that game. I got a drone probably 10 years ago. I think I was the first guy in the roofing industry to have a drone.
Smart.
And until someone else disputes that, I'm going with that story. I was number one. And I use my drone for everything, like mischievous and good meaning stuff all together. And I would take it out to the job sites and I'd take these cool videos and make these YouTube videos of them. Or like
That's cool.
you could do Facebook Live where I'd be flying. I'd be like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. We've got the ridge vents up there on the top, and you could do the whole.
That's fun.
It was awesome. I don't think you could do that anymore. It was too fun, apparently. But I got pretty good at flying my drone. And then I started wondering about drones with the general public. As someone that's not a roofer, do you have any experience with drones? Do you like see them anywhere? Are you aware of what drones are doing in this world?
On time, just perving about, but I've never used one. I don't care enough about anybody's business to want one.
Exactly. But some people do.
Yeah,
I've come to find out some people are weird about it, which is why
like
there
an
are rules.
investigator or like a journalist or something. Yeah, for sure.
Someone like me, not so much, folks.
Yeah, if I was like an old Herbert the pervert, 100%.
Yeah, and that's definitely not me, but I'm not going to lie. When I lived out in the country, this drone had a 5-mile range on it.
Whoa.
There's a lot of cool stuff within 5 miles of my porch when I'm sitting there drinking a beer at night. So I would fly the drone out and break all kinds of rules. And now that this statute of limitations is passed on that and the drone's no longer with us, yeah, I did that, guys. And I started really loving this drone and I was having fun with it. I took it to Mexico one time and I was in a Jeep. My buddy was driving and I was in the passenger seat and the drone was like flying over the Jeep, like along the coast. And it was like the coolest thing I've ever seen, right? Like I felt like I really had a skill and I love drones. So the way that this drone is going to work into today's theme of wilderness and the wild is I got to tell you a story about how my drone died. I will preface this by saying from the day that my drone died, which was December 25th, 2018, Christmas Day,
rest in peace.
Up until like about 3 months ago, I could not purchase another drone. I was completely shell-shocked by what happened. It was a horrible tragedy, but I got this drone, right? And I'm spending all kinds of good money on it, getting like cool new cameras. And because I use it for my roofing business, you can measure roofs with it. You can take cool photos and videos and yada, yada. Well, I take it with me everywhere I go because it became kind of my, my personality. Chuck the drone guy, whatever. I take the drone so I can show off to people and be like, watch this. Well,
cool personality, Chuck.
Exactly, like, right?
Chuck I got the train guy.
Yeah, I got it going on over here with the drone. So
the comic book guy.
Here's how this drone met its untimely demise on Christmas Day. You ready for this?
I can't wait.
Okay, so I go to visit my family in Ohio for Christmas of 2018. Apparently, this is what happens in the timeline. That's why I'm there. I go to my buddy's house because he's got some younger kids. I think at that point they were like 10, 12, 8, younger kids. And I always like to go over there on Christmas Day because I'm old and it's not the same anymore for us as it is to see young kids opening their Christmas gifts and being blessed with all these new Air Jordans and like video games and stuff and really loving their lives. So we go over there and I couldn't help but notice there's this one gift that was kind of like, it looked like it came from a bargain buggy at Dirt Cheap. I'm not going to lie. And this was a hovercraft. And it was like a boat type thing that was supposed to go out over the water and like do cool stuff, right? Well, there was ice over the water on this cold Christmas day. But my buddy's son takes it out here to the water anyway. He starts playing with it. And you can't even put odds on this, but within like 5 seconds of it getting onto the water, it stops working. So now there's this huge full-blown disaster. Like, oh my God, this toy is like stuck in the middle of the pond. We can't go out and get it. And it's like a $6 toy. This makes the story that much more amazing. So I'm like, well, wait a minute, I don't want anybody to get hurt. Obviously, this $6 toy is like all that this young man's been dreaming of his entire life. So we've got to fix it. We can't leave it in the pond.
No, naturally.
So I'm like, guys, did I tell you that I have my drone? Let me tell you guys what I'm going to do with my drone. I'm going to save Christmas 2018 with my drone. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my drone out of the case. I'm going to unfold it. I'm going to take a piece of yarn off of the Christmas tree, and I'm going to tie it in a nice little bow on the bottom of the drone. And then I'm going to take one of those ornaments, and I'm going to take the hook from it, and I'm going to tie it around like a fishing hook. Okay. So now I've got a fishing hook tied to the bottom of my drone. And I'm going to take the drone out here. There's a whole bunch of people, by the way, like at least 5 or 6 people. And they're like totally entrenched in this as well. I'm about to show the world what's up. I fly the drone out there. I go down. I pick up this little toy, and I bring it back effortless. Right? That should be the happy ending of this story, but no.
Crowd goes wild. Exactly.
This is just where this bad boy gets started.
No.
So I decided to show off a little bit. I'm like, oh, hey guys, did I tell you about this drone? It's the yada yada 2000. Like, I got the professional version because I'm a professional.
Because they're Chuck the drone Allen now.
It goes like 60 miles an hour, and let me show you guys what it can do. Okay. So here comes irresponsible Chuck on Christmas Day. Got a whole bunch of people around. What could go wrong? I start flying my drone around, and I'm flying it pretty damn far. Like, it's a good 2 miles away. Completely in violation of any FAA type stuff. I'm still having fun. I'm like, look at this, everybody. We're flying over the shopping mall. Look at all these people. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. I start flying the drone back, right? And somehow, by the grace of God, I maintain the exact same altitude this whole time.
Yes.
So I start coming back, right? And we're standing outside the pond, and there's a whole bunch of people, and I see the drone coming, and it's like the most majestic thing. It's like, it's coming down all smooth, I see it like a plane, and I'm like, guys, see those geese over there? This is where the wilderness comes in.
Right.
Yeah, I see those geese. Well, let me just go see how the geese are doing real quick with the drone. No bad intent. I just want to, maybe get a video of them, maybe annoy them a little bit. Potentially Karma heard this and decided what was going to happen to me, but I start lowering the drone down, right? And I get right over this pond. And as I'm going down, the one thing I don't take into account is that there was a piece of string that I tied to the bottom that had that hook. So as soon as the drone goes down, the string goes up. And Becky, we're all standing there. This thing is at like 275 feet altitude. 275 feet is pretty far up in the air. Yeah. For those who don't know, like that would suck. Fine.
Yeah.
Well, the piece of string is caught up in this drone, right? And my drone is like, zzz, boom. And it goes like the thud, smack. It hits this ice that's like this thick.
Oh no.
Do you know what? That bad boy is still sitting in that pond to this day. But I'm going to tie it all back around in saying that it was my attempt to mess with the wildlife that caused all of that. So I wasn't 100% aware of wilderness, but now that I am, it was me messing with the geese, not being an idiot, not trying to show off for a bunch of random people and making a fool of myself. But that is why drones are cool. If you ever see a drone, some guy today told me drones are like $100. I think maybe it was even Ron that said that.
Wow.
Dude, no, they're not. Trust me. That drone that I crashed, I had just gotten a brand new camera the week before for $600. And it was literally just installed. I had to go to a special drone place like 5 hours away. I had like the tricked out model. I had like all the cool propellers and everything. I had at least about $1,800 wrapped up in it. And
what an idiot.
Booyaka. It went straight to the bottom. And you know what really sucked about that? All the people that cared about that stupid $6 toy and
right.
We need to go out and get the toy. Not one of them offered to go get my drone. She's still sitting in the pond in Hilliard, Ohio. So there you go.
That's a tragic story. I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, well, I love drones. I've been in a car for 6 hours too. So I'm sorry if my stories are a little bit weird, but I was going to tell the same story this morning.
I love it. No, it's a great story. I'm so sorry for what happened to your drone. You should probably get over it, though. It's been 7 years.
I've got another drone now. And okay. I flew it this afternoon.
Perfect. And
drones are so cool.
Did you creep on peeps or what?
No, I don't do that stuff. Like,
no, I don't do that.
If I need to take a picture of a roof, I'll like knock on everybody's door and be like, "Hey guys, gonna be next door."
That makes
I would
sense.
shoot somebody if they impeded in my progress or my privacy with a drone. And the only other time I've done that, I was trying to mess with my roofing crew from like 3 streets over while they're eating lunch. I was gonna bring the drone down and like just kind of mess with them, and I hit a tree that time. So as long as you
really
mean well with drones, nothing bad happens. But as soon as you get that ill intent, give it up.
I love it. Well, great story. Ron loves your stories. He thinks they're the best. They are very entertaining, that's for sure. Well, we are overtime, but hey, what am I doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? I'm sleeping. That's about it.
I just got off of a 6-hour road trip to get here for this program. So
we better make it last.
Yeah.
Okay, so your option tonight, I have 2 stories. You can have either elephants or wolves.
Who gets to choose?
Which would you like? You do.
Oh, well, now I didn't know I was going to get a choice here. I think most people would think I would go with elephants, but I think I'm going to go with wolves.
Okay.
Wolves. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Let's see what we've got, ladies and gentlemen, with the wolves.
What we've got. So the year is 1995.
That was a hell of a year.
Great year. I think, did Lion King come out that year, maybe? The year's 1995, and Yellowstone National Park was dying in silence. Ooh. Forests were thinning, the rivers were eroding, the balance of nature, albeit once perfect, had now fallen apart. But what was the reason, Chuck? Something was missing from the park, something that had been gone for nearly 70 years. Wolves. Wolves were missing from Yellowstone National Park. So in the early 1900s, wolves were hunted and killed until not a single one remained in the park. This is a problem today with poaching and overhunting. We get that.
We got coyotes in my park over here. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I thought about shooting a couple of them.
No, they're puppies. They're just wild puppies.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Coyotes don't look like puppies.
I know. They're like savage puppies. So people had overkilled, of course, until none remained in this park. People were actually thought that they were just protecting the livestock and the deer. But what they actually didn't realize was that by removing one predator, they had pulled a thread that held the entire ecosystem together, as they say happens. Whoops. So without wolves, the elk populations exploded, as they would. With no fear of being hunted, the elk overgrazed the valleys, then stripping the young trees and the willows bare. Beavers lost their building materials. Songbirds lost their homes. Even the rivers began to change course as soil and vegetation eroded away, all because of wolves. So, Yellowstone, which was one of the world's most beautiful sanctuaries, was now unraveling. Then, in January of 1995, a convoy of trucks arrived from Canada, as we do. We love a good truck convoy. If it's not for COVID, it's for wolves, okay? Inside of this convoy of trucks was 14 gray wolves. They were nervous, beautiful, magnificent creatures, unaware that they were about to change history forever in this park. They were released into the Lamar Valley of the national park. Almost immediately, everything began to shift. The wolves hunted elk again. The elk, once fearless, began avoiding open valleys and overgrazed plains. Trees and willows started to grow back. And then, of course, with trees came back the birds, warblers, woodpeckers, owls. With willows came beavers, who then rebuilt their dams. And then with beavers came otters, ducks, fish. The land itself actually began to heal. Even the rivers changed course, flowing more gently, held steady by the roots of growing forests. It's a phenomenon that scientists call a trophic cascade. One where the top predator changes not just the prey population, but the entire landscape beneath them. So now 20 years later, Yellowstone was transformed. The elk population had balance, beavers thrived, rivers were clear and strong. And it all began with the return of the wolf. Very cool, hey?
I'm glad I picked wolves. I'm
I
not gonna
know,
lie. Like, I didn't
right?
expect that at all. I'm
Totally.
over here
The
now
yellow
wondering though, like, what magical elephant story did I miss? But
right? Well, you
I'm
have to
almost
tune in
happy
on
that I don't
Thursday,
know,
I guess.
because much respect to the wolves and
Right.
much respect to our friends in Canada. Sounded to
Woohoo!
me like y'all just wanted to get rid of 14 wolves from your
Right.
area and be like, drop them
I
off over
mean,
there
we
at
have so many.
Yellowstone to these idiots.
We're
But it
all for it
actually
here, so we have some to spare. But
it
yeah,
saved
we'll
the
do the
day.
elephant story on Thursday. We will. Yeah, JJ and myself will do that. But yeah, basically these Yellowstone wolves remind us that balance in nature is not about control. It's about connection. Sometimes healing doesn't come from adding something new, but restoring what was lost. I love it.
There you
Isn't that
go.
awesome? This is from a story called The Wolf Who Changed a River, and it's a true story about how nature remembers how to heal if we let it. It's just like our bodies. Our bodies want to heal. They just need to remember how to do it. If you eat McDonald's
Exactly.
every day, it's probably not going to remember. If you exercise and give it water and eat proper food, it's going to heal. So,
No
cool
healing
story.
going on over here. I ate like crap all day.
Perfect. Well, go, I don't know, sit on your toilet for an hour and then go to bed and start fresh tomorrow.
It's going to be a great day. Before we call it a day on our
Yes,
episode
we need
here,
your advice for Chuck.
I need advice from the viewers. Okay.
Yes.
This is a strange situation. And I
Mhm.
apologize
Mhm.
for bringing you all into my world here. But
Mhm.
about 3 months or
Dang.
so ago, I got there you go. Michael J. Fox was that was a good movie. That was a
How he
good movie.
changed into a wolf. Oh, yes, Teen Wolf,
He
right.
was a great basketball player.
And he's Canadian, so really, this is a win-win comment, Danny.
Wow,
Well
there
done.
you go. I didn't
Well
even know
played,
Michael J.
Danny.
Fox was Canadian.
You didn't?
I had no
He's
idea.
from Edmonton. He's from my town.
I had
We're
no idea.
practically cousins. I don't know
That's
that to be true.
awesome. That is awesome. So let
Yeah,
me steer this ship completely off the rails here one
Yeah.
last time.
Okay.
This is crazy to me. Okay.
Yes.
I guess what is this? October now?
Yeah.
About four or 5 months ago.
Mhm.
I was paying my monthly bills, paying my rent on the like a couple days before the first.
Yep.
I like to have everything
Yeah.
there. So doing all that, I noticed that there's like this random charge of $50.
Oh.
But I'm one of these people that just like, whatever. I'll
Pay
just
it.
pay the $50 before I even question it. And I did this for like 3
You are
months. Okay?
Sunrise Hospital accounts payable is what you are.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
this just goes to show I got what I had coming to me as well.
Okay.
I come to find out that what had happened is I went to pay my electric bill like 2 months ago.
Mhm.
And all of my access to my electric account was like gone. They're like, this username does not exist. I've been using the same username for like 6 years.
Wow.
This username doesn't exist, yada, yada. So I'm like, what? Here's what happened. I live in an apartment complex here in San Antonio, Texas, which shall remain nameless because I love living here, but they built a second phase to it about maybe like 10 years after the first one. And nobody had the wherewithal or the forward vision or thinking to think we shouldn't probably give each of these buildings the same numbers. Like I live in 416 in phase 1 and there's a 416 in phase 2, but there's no
Oh,
signage anywhere
no.
that says phase 1 or phase 2 or anything.
It should be 1416 and 2416.
I'm just a lowly roofer, but I would probably do what you just said. I don't know. I don't get paid the big bucks to make those decisions.
Right. Yeah.
Whoever
These
did,
decisions, yeah.
shout out to you. I can't order food here either because God knows where it ends up. So here's what happened. I called the electric company and I'm like, hey guys, I'm just trying to pay my bill. And they're like, well, what's your name? My name's Chuck Allen. It's been that for the last 6.5 years. Okay. You're not, and I'll just, no, I'm
John
not
Smith,
that person. I don't even know who the hell that person is, quite frankly. So this is when we start deducing everything down and we find out this lady moved into the 416 on the other side of the complex. And somehow when she called the power company, she basically stole my identity. She told him that she lived in 416 and yada, yada, boom, so on and so forth. They basically just took my account and just gave it to her. I never even had to tell them I was moving or anything because I wasn't moving. So why would I?
Yeah.
So like a month goes by and I see this $50 thing again. And I'm a little bit pissed. So I go down to my office and I'm like, hey, what's this? Well, it's because you haven't had any electricity in your name for like 3 months. You're in violation of your lease. So you're just paying this $50 and we're charging you the electric. And I'm like, oh, okay. Again, I'm just like with the subs, I'm just paying, okay, whatever, go away. Well, it gets even better, right? I get all that straightened out. Life is good. Everything's straightened out. This is probably about 3 weeks ago. All of a sudden I get this knock on my door. And I live on the 3rd floor intentionally because I don't like random people knocking on my door. So I'm like as far away from regular people as I can be.
Naturally.
Knock on the door. I look and I see this lady out there and I'm like, let's open the door, Chuck, and see what's going on. I open the door. She introduced herself. It's the lady that lives in the other 416, right? And she is all kinds of hot. Like, and I don't mean like good looking hot. I mean like pissed.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, you need to give me my packages that I've been getting here because I have spent a ridiculous amount of money getting these packages. And I know that they've been getting delivered here. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any of your packages, which is completely true. I don't even get my own packages when I order them. Why would I, why would I get yours?
Right.
Well, she doesn't believe this. And I'm like, I said, so anyway, tell me a little bit about how you were able to secure my freaking information for my account. You don't even live in this unit. And I'm so confused. And we go back and forth. And she brings up the idea that because it was a mistake, and this is where I need help from the audience, someone that can think these things through like yourself, Becky. You're way more like, you will handle this better than me because I'm about to maybe lose my stuff. So she's like, well, I paid your electric bill for 2 months. And I'm like, no, I don't think you did. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what the $50 that I was paying them and the extra. No, I did because they gave me your information. And I don't even know how this works out. This is another situation where it's like somebody probably could have seen this and said, wait a minute. Does anybody know if that guy actually is moved? Is he really not there anymore? We're just going to take his information and give it to her. Well, now I show up here tonight and she's giving me an envelope and I'm not going to put it up there, but there's a total that's due. And sorry, this is late. You owe me for the electric bill for 2 months. And now this is where I ask the audience, and specifically you, Becky, what do I tell this fine lady? Like, I have a feeling it's not going to end very well. You and I are on the exact same page. So, like those words.
Okay. So did she think that she just gets free electricity for 2 months?
Well, that's what I asked.
You might have paid yours, but realistically, if you live in an apartment complex, y'all have the same kind of electricity output every month.
Someone was probably paying for hers because it didn't get shut off.
So, like, did you only pay the $50 a month?
No.
Or did you pay the electricity
bill? It gets even more. Like after the first month, they figured it out at the power company. So they took it out of her name and put it in the apartment complex's name, my unit. So when I go down there, they're like, well, the reason you have to pay us the 50 is because we're paying your electric bill. And I'm like, I don't know. This is San Antonio, Texas. It's great. But the question I have for everybody worldwide, our 14 viewers on Twitter, Danny, anybody that's watching, do I owe this lady a penny?
No.
Or do I now have to be the guy who, even though I live in a 3rd floor, so I stay away from people, am I going to have to be authoritative? And am I going to have to say,
you're going to have to move
blank? No, I won't move. No, I will make her move. Or I will tell her, you've got 2 choices. You could take the stairs or
I'll boot you.
Yeah, you could take the balcony. I don't know. Strange thing. I literally just came home to this like moments before we went on the air. So this is a very organic reaction from me, but the first
I
thing
would say
her handwriting
how do you figure? Because she paid for 2 months of the bill of living there. But like, was it your power output under her name billed, or was it her power output that they billed?
Exactly. How could they have billed my power and sent it to her at a different address?
I would call the power company. I would say you need to credit both of us back for the last 2 months. I want a recalculation. Or if it, let's say it was your power that they billed to her, well, then what was her power bill? And then if if it's like $12 difference, then pay her the $12. But like, the fact is, she lived there for 2 months, paid a power bill that she believed got her power. If she wasn't paying for your bill, she would have been paying for her bill. And so if you were paying for her bill and she was paying for your bill, what the frig does it matter? No, I wouldn't pay that. I'd punch that biatch in the face.
There you go.
Bam.
If you're watching, Jennifer, I will say your name. If you're watching, that's the answer.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, if she really wants to get into semantics, then you need to have the cable company prove that she paid for yours, and then vice versa, you paid for hers.
Exactly.
Because that's the other thing. If you were also paying it, you're not going to pay for two people's apartments.
Nope.
You're paying for your own.
Every time I ever get extorted for money, it has to do with electricity. And I don't understand the attraction, but this is the second time.
Because you're electrical.
I had a homeowner try to whatever you want to call it, get a bunch of money off me. And she was like, I'm going to ruin your reputation online. I'm going to call the Better Business Bureau. I'm going to tell everybody that you suck. And I recorded the whole conversation because in Texas, you can. You don't even have to have their permission to do it.
Love
and
that.
I played that and basically got out of the situation. But her entire level of extortion was, I won't ruin your reputation if you give me $600 to pay my electric bill.
Woo.
Nope. Didn't do it.
Love it.
Hopefully the lights are still on. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen.
I would I would take a look. Did she give you the bill as well? Or is it just her?
No.
I'd like to
bill,
see
just an empty
envelope. Okay.
Horrific handwriting.
Jennifer, are you a crackhead? I would also ask to see her bill. I would compare it to your bill. If they are similar dollar values, that sounds like a wash. If your bill is exceptionally higher than her bill, I would confirm that who was paying for whom's at the time, or vice versa. If hers was super high and yours was super low, I would find out who was actually paying for who. I wouldn't be paying this chick nothing until
not a penny. Now I've got backup. So
I would demand to see the bill, and I would compare it to your bill and see what the output was that month or for those 2 months. But
because I know mine's small. I live here by myself.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she's got like
air conditioning,
a weed growing operation. She's got lights, hydroponics. She's got all the things.
There you go.
Crazy. That's
sorry, Jen. Story. Looks like you're gonna have to bark up a different tree.
Yeah, that's right. That's annoying.
There you have it.
That sounds super annoying. I'm sorry you're going through that.
Well, a day in the life. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to ask our amazing audience.
You know, maybe she's just trying to flirt with you. She's like single.
No, I think that too. I think that too. Because I saw the look in her eyes when I opened the door. I'm not, I'm not blind to that. I get it. And it was like,
she's like, oh, hey there, mister. Is your air conditioning out? And she's like,
no, my air conditioning's fine. Some dumbass down the hall's paying for it.
Yeah, right.
Some dumbass
I like her video. Great. Yeah. Cue the 70s porn music. Yeah. All right. Well, that was a great episode.
That was a terrific episode. It was worth waiting.
It was
11 extra hours.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm happy we got to do this still. Make sure, everyone, you are back tomorrow with us. It is going to be Luana and Ron tomorrow. Now, the graphic says Sharon. It is not Sharon. Sharon's actually in Europe. So that's pretty cool for Sharon. But cool. It is going to be Ron and Luana tomorrow. Luana just got back from Phoenix. She was there doing some Tony Robbins stuff. That's pretty cool. So I hopefully she'll talk about that. Yeah. Wednesday is going to be Kyle and who's on Wednesday? I actually don't know. Is it Kyle and Kenny? Maybe? Oh, Ron. Okay, Kyle and Ron. And then I am back on Thursday with Miss JJ. So check us out every day, 8 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Or if you're Luana, 7 a.m. Pacific Time.
I was going to say, my friend Troy right now is in China, and it's probably about 8 a.m. there. So we're going to try to do a live Keeping It Real podcast from Shanghai, China this week.
Did he bring his soap, though?
No.
Oh, well, not
his
really.
His soap is definitely on the shelf in Nashville, but his son, little Troy, is in China with him. And we're going to try to get another of the Troy Travels series of the Keeping It Real podcast.
Love that. All right, everybody, make sure you go check out Chuck on YouTube at Chuck Allen 210, not 209, not 211, 210. Check me out aboundinghealth.ca or my link tree at Abounding Health. And you can find my show on there or on this show on Fridays. When do we play your show on this?
Mine is noon. I don't know if it's noon central, but it's noon on YouTube Sunday.
Okay. Well, then be here Friday or Sunday to check out our shows.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. All 20 of you on Twitter. Thank you for being here. Comment next time, people, or you're on Twitch or YouTube or whatever. Comment. But anyway, we'll see you again. Bye.